You know what time it is. You know what time it is.
How firm thy friendship. Oh, how
you know what time it is. I'm brawl with them boys of the fall. You know what time it is. On the ground with a nose for the ball. You know what time it is. Blood, sweat, and them tears for this game. Leaving it all out on the field with no fear for you lames. Yeah, you know what time it is. Come brawl with them boys of the fall. Covered in gray and scarlet, massive, stiff arm to your jaw. We breaking it. We sick of seeing you clowns with the crown. We taking it.
What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm Tony. That's Shaun, and this is the BBz Family Mafia Sit-Down. So, sit down. We're going to talk about some stuff, talk about some college football, get it going. And how you doing, Shaun? How are things today, buddy?
Good, T-Dog. How you doing today?
I'm all right. Had some issues earlier with the printer. Had a whole thing, but got the first of the Cujo shirts. The piece was never an option. Out. Buckeye Chuck got one. He happens to live right around the corner from me, right around the corner from the shop. So he came over. I got to meet him. So it was good. You know what I'm saying? So what's up with the chat, everybody? Let's see who we got in here. We got Steely,
Daryl,
yep.
CW,
Bugsy. Yep, Bugsy. Drink.
Ryan Dave's Beard, RBD. Always,
yep, RBD.
Always representing.
7. Okay, we got
man. Those new shirts, man, are fire, bro.
Yeah, look, I'll show you. Hold on, I got him pulled up so that we can see. You can look at what the finished product looks like. If you didn't see our post earlier, this is the close-up version when it first got printed.
Oh man,
Nope,
that is fire.
Yeah,
and you're working on a couple new designs too, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'll show a couple. I don't know how they'll go over, but we'll see. And that's Buckeye Chuck holding up the shirt for everybody to see, so you can see it's in the silver. So it's works out good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. So let's see, who else we got in here?
Steven, Mac,
and Mac,
Daryl.
Yep. All right, Buckeye Chuck. That's our guy. There's my guy, Buckeye Chuck.
Chuck.
He is the man behind the curtain there. I asked him if he wanted to be in the picture. He said, "Yep." Held the shirt up over his head.
Steven. I like Steven because he's got the same initials as I do. Double S, man.
Nice.
Double S.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know, for people who didn't see, I don't know if people saw all the Cujo designs last night on the show. The piece was never an option. Or this is option number 1. Like, if you go to the website, you go to the merchandise tab, there's a whole order form you can fill out. This is option number 1. If you need to, if you want to order that one. This one is the one that Buckeye Chuck got. This is option number 2. And this is option number 3. This is just the Cujo one. Where they have no backgrounds or whatever. We found out the backgrounds cause kind of some problems. So I took all the backgrounds out. So it's just white, clear backgrounds or whatever. But I do need the chat's thoughts on, let's say we beat the Ducks or whatever. Like, what if we'll go with this. We're going to give you 3 more options. Okay. This is option number 1. Just bloody knife Cujo holding the head. You'll have to read the comments, Shaun. I got them up, but so that's option 1 for the Cujo, the after Ducks game. This is 2. I think that one's kind of my favorite.
Seeing a lot of 3.
And then that one's 3. So like that's the after the Ducks game or whatever. But yeah, like, so just a thought. Like, if once we cut the head off the Ducks there, I think we can get back at them, make some special edition shirts. So number 3.
Number 3's killing it right now, bro.
Right, number 3 seems to be the one.
I want to give a shout out to our wrench, Karis, and his lovely wife, Beth. Great people.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 is my favorite as well.
Want to give a shout out to our buddy Vader too, man.
Yeah, no, Vader. That's my guy. Picking the number 2. 2 or 3. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think they're all good, but definitely. So that's something to look forward to in the future. If we happen to beat Oregon. But I wanted to, speaking of the college football playoff and Oregon coming up, we'll get to them here in a second. But I wanted to talk to you, Shaun, about essentially like what you think of what happened in the first round of the college football playoff.
Oh, you know what? I don't. A lot of people are upset because there's a lot of blowouts, but I mean, honestly, I thought going to the 12 team was just too many because you're going to get watered down games. There's not 12 teams that could, seriously compete for a national championship. I thought 8 was a sweet spot. Give a shout out to Boxing Maniac. I know hey guys, he may be a Blue fan, but him and Maze Madman do an excellent job on their show. So if you're going to support a Michigan channel, Boxing Maniac and Maze Madman, great job. Nothing but respect. Even though you guys like the wrong color, wrong team, nothing but respect to those guys. They're classy guys, man, and they know ball. So much respect.
Yeah, no, they were wonderful to have on the long podcast that day. You know what I'm saying? And they made us all look stupid when Michigan won. So, but we're not gonna talk about that. We're not talking about that. I mean, so I think the personal thoughts of mine on the 12-team playoff, like I think 12 teams is fine. I think what they got wrong is the seeding and how they go about the seeding with the buys. I mean, like when you have essentially the best 2 teams playing in the quarterfinals, like what are we doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's literally, it's ridiculous. And like I said last night on the show, like read somewhere like literally Oregon like beat Ohio State once when they were the best team in the nation. Literally won the Big Ten, got a first round bye, all to have to play Ohio State again. Like, so what are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
They have the roughest road to go. One idea that I think would be a great idea to push these teams to, to take the regular season seriously is give the guys, the top seeds, home field advantage. Just not through one round. Do like the NFL. Have it all the way through till the national championship game. Can play it at a neutral site. I think they should go with more of the NFL playoff model.
I mean, I get that
playoff standard.
We've seen in college football, at least like in this first round here, that all the home teams won and they won going away. So like, I mean, I don't know if that's too much of a thing to ask, but like, I think the matchups were the problem, not necessarily the home field thing. And I do appreciate they're still utilizing the bowl games. Like, granted, like bowl games were essentially obsolete, and like they are a cool. You know what I'm saying? Tyler's here. Literally, they're still a cool thing. I think they're a cool experience for people. You know what I'm saying? And like, all the other bowl games are pretty much obsolete, but you can still use these ones that are like the Rose Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that people know and love. I think are still good to utilize them. And you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine if somebody had to come play in January at Ohio Stadium. Like,
I think, then teams are really, it still makes the regular season meaningful. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, if you lose, I mean, I would like to see that happen. I think that would be awesome because right now Oregon's the best team, got the number 1 seed and they get punished. They should have the easiest, route to the championship, not the toughest. I mean, it really did them no favors to win.
Like they kind of, the seeding really got screwed. Like, and like you would think that the playoff committee would want, like literally to have the best 2 teams play in the national championship game. That's like the whole point of it. You know what I'm saying? So like when you see that, like you're seeding Ohio State 9th or 8th, you know what I'm saying? And if they win, they're going to have to play Oregon. Like, isn't that absurd when you go like, okay, well, like, especially since they beat Penn State and, whatever, like the seeding's just, I think needs something to be desired. And I think this year is so broken. And because it's so broken, I'm hoping they take time and fix it next year.
But I mean, even if you look at the past playoffs with just 4 teams, there's been blowouts. So it's just not something new this year. But like I said, there just 4 teams wasn't enough. And I think 8 would be the sweet spot there because you're not going to have 12 teams that can win a national championship. There's not 12 teams seriously that can win it. And it's not like March Madness where the underdog's going to win a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, not like they said, not every home stadium is going to be an advantage like Ohio Stadium was. Like, I think we're finding out like, the shoe has been kind of down this year or whatever. But if you look, we played like 8 noon games. We had like 2 night games. like, and one was a playoff game. So it's like, what are we doing, man? Like, I think if we just played at night or even in the afternoon and not like at breakfast, I think we would be much better off. And I think the shoe would be much more alive. But you can't get a lot of those people really amped up by that point in time and like playing at noon all the time. Like we played at noon, whatever, 6 straight weeks in a row from like after Oregon on, basically. Like that's silly, dude. Like that's absurd. Like,
and the only night game that they played was Western Michigan, man. And what the heck?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm the big proponent of, I think, it would be cool to have home playoff games all the way through, but I think it might be a bit too much in college football. You know what I'm saying? And I still I really like the utilization of the bowl games. So
it keeps the tradition alive of college football, so it doesn't feel so much like
I mean,
a pro model.
The pageantry of college football is half what we have, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of the traditions, especially the transfer portal and all these other things, are kind of going by the wayside. We heard Ryan Day and them talk down the Michigan game somewhat, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. It has taken a little bit away from the game. Like, yes, the game still means a lot, but like you've heard people now be like, no, I'll take a natty. Screw Michigan, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like at the end of the day, that's what people are, what we're chasing. So like it does demean it a little bit, but like we just have to hold on to those traditions. And I think having the bowl games implemented in the playoff, I think, is a cool way to get kids to still be to go to these games and make them not obsolete and stuff or whatever. Because you had, if you had the 3rd and 4th best teams in the Big Ten and wherever else going to play the Rose Bowl, nobody's going to watch. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? When you have the 2 best teams in the country, like you got the Super Bowl. So, let's see here.
Give a shout out to Mika, who's always on here supporting us. Thanks, Mika.
Super Captain Mika. Okay, so now let's see here. We picked the 12-team playoff all the way through last week, and I have it somewhere here. Let's see. That's it right there. And I think on the first round, our only difference was.
I took Clemson for the upset.
Yeah, you took Clemson for the upset, and I took Texas. Otherwise, we were the same. So now for the second round here, I don't remember what we picked in the second round. I should have wrote these down. But either way, we can listen. We'll repick them, and I don't know. Somebody take him down. Who's our secretary? No, I can take him down. It's fine. So here's what we got. We're going to start up here with Georgia, and we got Georgia is going to play Notre Dame, right?
Yes.
That's going to be a good game. Who you got going there, Shaun?
I originally picked Notre Dame. Notre Dame did lose one of their stud defensive tackles for the rest of the playoff. I think he tore his ACL. Well, I still like Notre Dame. I'm not sure what Georgia's backup quarterback's going to give them.
Well, can't be as bad as fucking what's his face.
They did rally around him when they brought him in. It seemed like his teammates really do, support him and do like him a lot. So I still think Notre Dame beats Georgia.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll put you down for Notre Dame. I'm gonna go Georgia here. I think that's what I went originally anyway. Okay. So now we have the wonderful, amazing game of Penn State versus Boise State.
I'm going Penn State.
PSU.
I just don't think Boise has anything besides Gentry. And I
don't think they played the same kind of competition this year. I'm going to go Penn State as well. So now we got Oregon, Ohio State. Obviously, Shaun, you're going Oregon, right? I'll just put you down.
Nah. No.
Did you make a score prediction for that game yet?
What's that?
Did you make a score prediction for that game yet?
I said 35-21 Ohio State.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I went 38-17. So, all right. And then the last of the Elite Eight, we're going to have Texas and Arizona State.
I'm going with the upset. I'm going Arizona State. I like the way that they've been playing really good football. I'm a big Cam Scatterboo fan. I might be a little bit biased here, and I don't like Texas all that much. So maybe I'm wishing this into existence, and maybe Texas defense is just way too much for them to win the game. But I'm going with Arizona State.
I'm going to stick to my gut feeling here, and we're going to go Texas. So that leaves us, Shaun. You would have Notre Dame and Penn State.
And I am going to go Notre Dame over Penn State.
Riding the Irish wave, huh?
Yep.
And I would have Georgia and Penn State. In which case, I think, man, this is a tough one for me. No, what's the chat think on this one? Georgia versus Penn State. Anybody got any opinions on that one? We got some people picking the Notre Dame game. Well, Notre Dame wins in there, yeah. Georgia versus Penn State. Oh God, man, dude, it's so hard. Just for the revenge, I'm gonna go Georgia just because I would like to see them in the end. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm gonna go Georgia with my gut feeling there, and I'm hoping for the full revenge tour. So we're gonna go Georgia. Okay.
Honestly, if there's one team I just like close to, I mean, I just like Michigan, of course, all the way, but Notre Dame right below it. So I'd like to see Notre Dame play Ohio State. Hey, Johnny O. Give a shout out to Johnny Oden. Thanks for stepping in and picking us out. You guys can razz him a little bit, but be nice to Johnny.
My bad, Johnny. I didn't know you were part of the family, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
You're always welcome, Johnny. Always welcome here, Johnny.
It's good to have Johnny in here for sure.
Our boy Dunkel Donuts is in the house.
Nice.
So you got Penn State over Notre Dame?
No, I have Georgia over Notre Dame.
Georgia over Penn State, I meant.
Oh yeah, is that where we're going next?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You picked Notre Dame, I picked Georgia. Then it's gonna be Penn State versus Penn State versus Georgia. Let's do the other side real quick.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So Ohio State and Texas. We got Ohio State and Texas and Georgia or Notre Dame and Penn State for you, and Georgia and Penn State for me, Notre Dame, Penn State for you, and then Ohio State and Texas and Ohio State and ASU for you. So you go first. You pick those two games.
I'm going to have I got Ohio State beating Arizona State. Big shocker, of course, but
shocker.
And then I got them playing Notre Dame in the championship game.
Okay. And let's see. Notre Dame or Penn State. All right. And I'm going to go, man, I'm just going to go Georgia over Penn State. And I'm going to go Ohio State over Texas for the Ohio State Georgia revenge tour. You know what I'm saying? Where Georgia will eventually be, they will hold on to their last breath and then literally just get depleted, and then we're just going to run through them like a buzzsaw. So, that's what I think. Who you picking in the national championship game?
Ohio State, of course.
Okay.
This is the Buckeye Boys show. You know what I mean?
Well, you never know, man. You might take a left turn somewhere and end up in, Burkesville or something. So
I know that's who Johnny's picking. Johnny thinks Ohio State's going to win the Natty, don't you, Johnny?
Oh, absolutely, Johnny. You're on our team, right, buddy? Big Ten all the way, buddy. Yeah. So that's what we're picking. I don't know, chat. What do you guys think of the picks there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what you guys have here. But so let's see. All right. So now we got that done. We talked about the playoff. We could probably touch on the transfer portal some. I think Ohio State is killing it in the transfer portal. I think we've got the tackle situation shored up, and pretty much entire offensive line at this point shored up. I think really, and we got the running back situation, I think, pretty well hammered down. CJ Donaldson and stuff or whatever. I mean, where would you go next if you had to go somewhere, like, you know what I'm saying? Because like you're gonna see a whole other round of people hitting the portal after this game. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like
there's only one position right now that they need to go after right now, and they haven't gone after as kicker. Get a kicker, Ryan Day. Come on.
Amen.
How many games do we have to lose because of not having a kicker? I mean, it cost us in Georgia, cost us in Michigan. I mean, come on, man. That's the only. I mean, we got two offensive tackles, so we shored our lineup. Got the experienced running back. Added some depth to our defensive line. So kicker's the one we need to get, man. Maybe another corner, depending on what Iggy does. But I like our young corners that we got. Scott, I like Bryce West.
Yeah, Jermaine Matthews. I think
Jermaine Matthews. I mean, Matthews is gonna be a stud. If Iggy comes back, awesome. If not, I think Aaron Scott or Bryce West could step in.
Yeah, I think we might need some help at safety because we are losing, like, you know what I'm saying, everybody but Caleb Downs essentially, and we're losing all three corners type shit. So, you know, I think it's gonna be tough. But I think even if we don't get them here, I believe we'll get them in the spring window. You know what I'm saying? Especially since the SEC in the spring window can't go after their own, you know, their own conference. So I think that'll help us.
Man, that's a wild rule to have.
Isn't it though? Isn't it? You can't pill for your own conference. Like, ooh, that hurts, man. Like, oh, second best conference in America. Like, oh, you can't touch it. Like, oh man, that sucks.
Tyler's got a good point. Calvin Simpson-Hunt as well. Another good young cornerback that we got.
Oh, yep. Calvin Simpson-Hunt. Oh, no, wrong one there. Yep.
How about you, Tony? Is there a position that you think they should go after?
I mean, I would say, like I said, safety, or maybe. I mean, we got enough defensive end. Maybe a defensive end, or like you know, random veteran quarterback if one comes up. Like, obviously, I don't think we're going to spend like an amazing amount on a quarterback order, but I think some veteran leadership in that room. I know people like Mika have voiced their opinions about Julian saying. I've said that he's kind of shaky as well. So, I mean, Tavian St. Clair is going to obviously need some time. So it's going to be a whole process, I think. But I think, you know, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of the transfer portal, like, after these games. You know what I'm saying? Like, you saw Ohio State had nobody, and then we beat Tennessee, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, Ryan Day's not getting fired, I'm going. And, you know, we saw a whole slew of people, that 4 people in one day or whatever. So, you know.
The issue with Julian saying, I think it's his job to lose next year, but Ryan Day did not get him enough reps this year. I mean, we had plenty of times. He kept giving it to Devin Brown. I get it. You want to reward Devin Brown for being a good leader, a good Buckeye. But come on, man. He's not going to be here next year. Sane needed those reps. Them very valuable reps. I know he threw that one into the ground last week, but man, it was, 10 degrees out, windy. I mean, the ball might have slipped on him. I have faith in Julian Sane.
Right. No, listen, like, I don't know. Like, with us going into this year and hearing about how enamored Ryan Day was with Julian Sane, like, then we got the Devin Brown experiment extended a whole other year for him to just, like, at the end of the day, like, be fed up with not being anything here, and other than a good Buckeye, you know what I'm saying? And it's still transferring. So, like, we lost a whole year of actual reps for Julian Sane when he should have got some in, like, crazy times. And then, like, literally we wasted all that time, and Devin Brown still transfers, you know what I'm saying? And now Air transfers in a kind of, weird timed move, but, like, whatever. I mean, I wish I have all the utmost faith in Air. I wish he would have stayed and battled it out. Like, I think, if especially if we went and got somebody, went and got somebody else, like, in the transfer portal, like, he could have battled, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because the lack of stuff that him and Julian didn't get this year, and I don't know.
Well,
I
the
think
reports are Julian's so far ahead of him, and I think he saw the writing on the wall. And plus, you have
maybe.
Tavian coming in. I just think I like Air. I wish him nothing but the best, but I think he did the right thing. He's going to be number 2 at South Carolina. Then
Yeah,
he's
but that
going
kid's
to be
a
their heir apparent.
redshirt freshman too. Like,
Yeah.
or he was a redshirt freshman. He's gonna be a redshirt sophomore. Like, so like, yeah, I mean, granted, he becomes draft eligible after next year, but like, I mean, are you gonna bank on that kid going? Like, what if that kid has kind of a down year? He Quinn Ewers it, and then all of a sudden, like he just is there another year, and all of a sudden, you get maybe 1 year at South Carolina on your senior year type thing, like, or your redshirt junior year or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's a to me, I was confused about his tactics on that. But like I said, I wish him all the absolute best. I think the kid's wildly talented. I just wish he would have stayed to battle it out. So
now you mentioned Ewers. Now there's some smoke that he might be coming, rumors that he might be coming back to Ohio State. I'm interested to see what the chat thinks. Would you want Quinn Ewers back? Yes or no?
I mean,
What would you think, Tony?
Wouldn't that just like tie up the beautiful like storyline of the revenge tour? We win the Natty, Quinn Ewers comes home, you know what I'm saying? We LeBron in the air, and all is well in Buckeye Land. Like, why not, dude? Like, after the year we've had with the ups and downs, like I say we deserve it. I mean, who am I though? How dare you, Steely? Take it back. Blasphemy, sir. Blasphemy. Bring that child home.
Quinn Ewers is really taking his stock's really plummeted compared to what it was. I know the poor kid he's had health problems. He gets injured a lot. I think a healthy Quinn Ewers, a full season, I think the kid would be, his draft stock would go up quite a bit. I think he would play really well, but he's already kicked out of Texas, basically. They're basically, ready for Arch Manning after this year. So
yeah,
he'll be looking for a new home.
I just thought he would be a good veteran presence in the locker room, and if anything, like, he'll tie up some storylines. I like storylines. I like, the happiness of bringing that kid home. He left with a bad taste in his mouth. Like, Ryan Day can learn how to apologize. It'll be great, dude. Like, come on, guys. Like, don't be so,
I would take him, and I would let him compete with Julian Sane, but I wouldn't be paying him the big bucks like he's gonna want, though.
I wouldn't drop him a bag. Like, I would give him, like, Georgia Tech quarterback money type.
As a veteran, if Stain can't produce, or Tavian comes in and he still needs he needs that year of seasoning, you got a veteran to play then, a trusted veteran.
Here we go. So, yeah, why bring in a transfer quarterback in when you have 5 stars waiting to get playing time? You bring in Ewers, saying probably leaves. I don't know about that. He might, but we really only have, at that point, we have 3 quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? We have Tavian St. Clair coming in from Bellefontaine High School, which is like down the road for me, and there's like 30,000 people there. Like, they're not like a powerhouse. Like, 2, Julian Sayin, who obviously we wasted a whole year on. And 3, Lincoln Kaneholtz. And I'm sorry, if you're putting your faith in Lincoln Kaneholtz, I can't put my faith in you. Not to say anything bad about the kid. I'm sure he's a very nice kid, but I don't know. I still have PTSD about the Cotton Bowl, so whatever.
That was a bad rap on that kid, though, man. He was not set up for success at all. And Ryan Day really should have given him some reps during that bowl practice, just in case Devin Brown were to get hurt. We were caught with our pants down for the Cotton Bowl. Brown goes down with an injury. You don't expect that. Then Ryan Day's brilliant idea to, move the line around, which basically he was punishing Carson Hinsman. Sit the kid out for a series, even a quarter, but come on, put the kid back in. At least at least show that you want to win the game. That line, doing that to the line and not giving Lincoln any reps at all was just we were doomed for failure. Put it that way.
Yeah, and also, I forget if you said that comment, but yeah, I also live like 30 minutes from Bellefontaine. I live in Marion, so that's one thing too, questionable. Like you bring up the offensive line, like they have made like Justin Fry, whoever's made those decisions. I assume Justin Fry or him and Ryan, whatever, who has made those decisions to like one banish Carson Hensman, and he came back and was like, oh wow, I'll fire guard. That's crazy. And then like Luke Montgomery was like the next coming, and then just has been disappeared, and then came back, and he was the highest graded offensive lineman in the Tennessee game. Hadn't played not anything all year. Highest graded, like right after it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was like Travion Henderson, Jeremiah Smith, and Mecca Ibuka and all them, you know what I'm saying? And like fifth, Luke Montgomery. Like, what? Like, I mean, I think that's crazy that like you didn't give that kid a chance. And like, here we are letting Zen come out there like a swinging door, and like Tegra's getting pushed all over half the time. And Luke Montgomery's just sitting over there giving people Gatorade, like, what flavor you want, guy? Yeah, good job. Like, geez, man. That level of incompetence, I think, has to fall on somebody. And like, I'm not saying, listen, I get it. If Justin Fry got it together with his patchwork line and stuff or whatever, sweet. But I think he does I give him some credit, but I give Chip Kelly more credit for calling plays to those kids' strengths and them actually rotating, like, and taking the chance to rotate them. Like, but to me, like, if they were willing to take that chance to rotate, then you obviously knew, though, some of those kids were better than, you know what I'm saying, that then you let on, you know, when you wouldn't let Luke Montgomery on, and you sat Carson Henderson in the ether, like when you knew that they could be good for whatever reason. It's beyond me what those guys do down there, but I think it's beyond a lot of.
I'll give the coaches a little bit of a break there, because sometimes we don't see what goes on behind the scenes. Sometimes kids have problems, you know, picking up plays. I mean, and we don't know what's going on in practice. Sure, it's just practice. But if you can't trust someone to be out there on the field, you're not going to go with them. So I think, you know, Luke, you know, stepped up, got his chance, he shined, and hopefully we see a lot more of him this coming week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The offensive line is perplexing because, like, very rarely, I think, do like people do badly in practice all the time that they get benched and then get a chance to go in the game and shine. Like that it's usually the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I think like, I mean, obviously there has to be more to it than we know or people have let on. You know, the Carson Hensman and the podcast thing or whatever. Like, just some perplexing decisions have been made by Justin Fry and Ryan Day involving the O-line. Now, have they got it together at times they needed to? Yes. Have they looked atrocious at times? Absolutely yes. You know, like, and you still have Tegra being Tegra, like, not to speak ill of the man, but like, dude, he's bigger than me and you, and we're both 6'6". Like, I'm 6'6", 300 pounds. He's way bigger than me, and he's getting pushed back by like just picked up and 12 yards back. Like, that shouldn't happen.
How about when he pulled and ran into the other guard pulling? I mean, everybody's going one way, he's going the other way and runs right into the guard. I will give the kid credit, though. During Oregon, in the first quarter, second quarter, he looked bad. But then when he came back out for the second half, he was pancaking people. So he stepped up at the end of the game, and he improved as the game went on. But honestly, I think Carson Hensman is our best guard that we got. And I think Luke's the second best guard. Problem is the center position. I'd like them to have Padilla start, but they decided to go with Hensman instead because he has the experience.
I mean, really, like, honestly, though, like, if you think about it, like, especially at least going into next year, too, like, you have to think, like, the people we got in the transfer portal, and if you move Carson Hensman back, because, listen, Carson Hensman, I think he's an awesome guard. I think he's not the best center at all. But I think if they move him back to guard, and then you, like you fill in another guard, you know what I'm saying? Like, we already have a guard in the transfer portal. We have the two tackles. Like, all you got to do is start Josh Padilla. Like, you have to at least, like, I'm not saying, like, Justin Fry needs to hit home runs, but he's got to hit a single every now and then. You know what I'm saying? A double. Like, he's got to hit something where you're not getting, like, taking 3 kids and then having to go get replacements in the transfer portal every year. Like, you have to get somebody that's going to pan out. And if Josh Padilla now, after 2 years, can't snap the ball and run the line properly, like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, Justin Fry's busting everywhere we go.
Well, he looked good at the end of the game. I like that he was getting in a fight. I mean, he's got nastiness to him. Montgomery does. Carson does. So we got some guys that got some dog in them. And I think next year our offensive line is going to be a strength because we're going to have 3 guys that started a lot of games this year. Started a few games for us. Carson will have a lot of experience. Austin started a lot of games. Tegro started a lot of games. So we're going to have a lot of experience coming back along with those 2 transfer portal tackles. I think we're going to be set up pretty good next year.
Yep. And I agree with Josh Kiscucci. If Sayan's going to start next year, we're going to have a center that can be, not maybe Seth McLaughlin good, but like good enough that like he can make the right calls and he's not going to be some swinging door or get that kid killed. Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, Julian Saint's not the biggest individual on the planet. And like, so I think
you're right, Scooch. 100%. We do need that center that's going to be able to call the game. I mean, because center is the quarterback of the line, man. He's calling all the protections. He's pointing out who the mic is. So correct. I mean, I would definitely go with Padilla next year, but that's my personal feelings. But unless they get somebody from the portal, they bring somebody in. Or I know that they've also tried Luke at center too. So
Luke too. But like I think Luke looked good where he was. You know what I'm saying? Like I think if you shore up all that stuff where like you have all that, like, or maybe Carson makes leaps and bounds over the winter. I don't know. Like there's got to be something. Like I'm really hyped though on like that kid from Rice. Looks amazing. You know what I'm saying? The kid from Minnesota I think is a cool storyline and stuff or whatever. I think it's funny that they say we need a center that's 5'9" so Julian can throw him because like I don't know. I said on the show the other night, like he's listed at like 6 foot or 6'1", and like if you've seen a picture of him standing next to Will Howard, you're like, no way, dude, no way. Like you're
Dan Rubin on the Morning Five saw him at a fundraiser and stood next to him. He says he's a legit 6'1". Maybe 6'2" with cleats on, so he needs to put some bulk on, if anything, which I think he'll do under mixed program. So
really 6'2"? I don't know, man. The picture I saw, maybe it was just like a weird perspective. Like
Howard's 6'6". I mean, the dude.
No, Howard's 6'4".
With the cleats on. I mean,
okay, like okay, maybe, but. I mean, they were on the practice field and they're, I don't know, like it was a weird picture, I guess, but either way, like it was just, I have to agree. I don't think he's 6'2". Like, you know how they are in basketball and football, whatever. They list people like 6'2".
They're on the depth chart.
Yeah, like they'll list you at 6'2", and you're like, oh, cool, I'm 5'11", but it's fine. Like, so.
Man, you're not 6'4" on a step stool. We all know that you're probably 6'2" in heels. So
you're 5'4", 400 pounds, Steely. Stop it. Anyway, Howard is taller than 6'4". I could have sworn he was 6'4".
I thought he was 6. I thought he was closer to 6. I thought he was 6'5", maybe 6'6", but I could be.
We're gonna Google this right meow. How tall is Will Howard? 6'4".
Julian does look like a 8th grader.
6'4", kids. 6'4". Thank you very much.
Oh, goofballs.
Yeah, I know. What could you do? Yeah, I would say lucky if he's 6 foot. Like, I mean, he looks like 5'11", 6 foot. Like, but either way, like, I mean, when you're trying to throw over dudes that are like sick, like the kid from Rice is like 6'7", dude. Granted, he's a tackle, but like still, like, that's a lot to throw over, man.
The tackles aren't the problems; it's the guards. I mean, there's been a lot of shorter quarterbacks like Drew Brees, Doug Flutie. I mean, they said that the tackles aren't the problem; it's the guards because they want to stay in the pocket to throw.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. Tegra's 6'6". Like, I don't know how tall Luke is. I don't know how tall Luke is. Actually, I was going to say something, but I think it'd be wildly wrong. So,
Baker Mayfield is 6 foot. Gabriel is short too.
Yeah, no, Dylan Gabriel is like 5'10", 150 pounds. He looks so frail. Like, that's what I'm saying. If we could just get like one hand on him and somebody would crush him, I think. Like,
you got to make him uncomfortable, man. They got to put the pressure on him, and when they get a chance to hit him, light him up. I'm not saying be dirty, but punish him, man. Make him not want to run the. If he's going to run that option again, JT, don't go after the running back. Don't fall for the dive.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go after the running back ever again.
That is what the defensive end is supposed to do on an option. You take the quarterback. If he has the ball, you hit him. If he pitches it, you still hit him. It's your free shot on the quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, somebody said Luke is 6'4". That's what I was going to say, but I didn't want to be like wildly wrong and him be like 6'6" or something and me being like, oh. And like, dude, I mean, well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Google has what they list him in the program as, but I'm telling you, like, yeah, I'll find the picture at one point and literally, like, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll show you guys. Like, I'm not crazy. It's just it must be a weird perspective if he is that tall. What's up, Mello in the house?
Our boy Mello.
Yep. How you doing, Mel? So yeah, I mean, I think that's just my thoughts. Like, you know, on the offensive line and whatnot and whatever. You have any more thoughts on that, Shaun?
No. I was gonna ask you, and I'll ask the chat this question too. What two players on defense are you looking to have a ball game? Who needs to step up and have a breakout game for us? Because I'm gonna say we need JT and Jack to play the same kind of like they played last year, man. I mean, last game. They both had a great game together, and that's the first time that they've had it. So we need to do that again. If they do that again, I think our line will be great.
Yeah. Get a lot of Burke and Iggy. I think Burke and Iggy need to have a big day, take back their manhood from them. You know what I'm saying? Got Dev in the house. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to pick two. I really think, I mean, I would pick one of Jack or JT, you know what I'm saying? Just like to know we have some pressure. And then Denzel Burke. I think, I definitely think Denzel Burke is going to show up and show out. Like, so.
Well, JT Burke won't be taken by surprise either, man.
No, I don't think Oregon rolls on the same game plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't. And if they do, I don't think we fall for that. But like, it is what it is, I guess.
I mean, we have the defense is so different from what they played earlier on. I mean, the different fronts that we've been using, the more pressures we've been using, the lines doing stunts, which I hope that they continue to do, because we are getting pressure with four down linemen. If we do that, we can get pressure with 4 down linemen, then we can keep everybody back in coverage and make things difficult for Gabriel.
Yeah, well, I mean, like during Tennessee, we only blitzed like single digits number of times. Like, I can't remember if it was 4 or 6. It's something crazy low. And it was like, we're like, what? And I was like, yeah, dude, like, because we were already getting so much pressure with 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, now granted, like, Tennessee's offensive line is not the greatest, but like, I think both our defensive line and offensive line showed up, especially our offensive line. Like, I think that's do you think, speaking of the lines, like, what do you think? Is it going to matter that Oregon is at full strength now with their lines? You're going to have the kid in the secondary that spit on, Iggy, or whatever, like that. He's not going to hopefully spit on him again. Of course he could, like Iggy does rub people the wrong way. But I think like you think because Oregon's going to be at full strength, like we have something to worry about. Like, I mean, I think Tennessee's defensive line's better than Oregon's, but
I think their defensive line is better than. I think Tennessee's is better than Oregon's, but they're still no slouch, man. You can't take them lightly.
No, I think the one thing that Oregon has for them, they've been a touch bit more consistent than Tennessee's line. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you got Harmon and Burks. I mean, both of them are tough.
Yeah.
I mean, we shut down Pierce, who's a first-round draft pick. He didn't have any sacks. I think, I mean, depending on what we do, I think Chip, excuse my language, guys. Chip will scheme it right, so our guys will be put in the best possible position to succeed.
I agree. I think I have faith in the way he looked last game. And so, like, since you asked about the defense, who are 2 players on offense that absolutely have to show up?
Will Howard for sure. I think that's the key right there. Will, if he plays loose and free like he did last game, and you get him into a rhythm, he's gonna be unstoppable. And JJ, man, the offense has got to run through him.
I agree.
I mean, those are the two guys I'm looking for to have the big games, man.
Yeah, I think Tyler agrees with you there.
And I would not be surprised if Carnell Tate has a big game. Last game, he was wide open quite a bit, and Will missed him because he was throwing to G. Scott or somebody else. But there was a lot of, plays where our third receiver is getting wide open. So look for him to find Carnell a couple times, because
Right.
I don't think, there's no team that's going to be able to guard all three of our guys. So, and JJ will be, commanding the double team, and they'll be looking for a Mecca. So I think Carnell will have a chance to have a really big game.
Yeah, I agree. I think since Devin's not here, I'm going to steal the cheating card for today and say the entire O-line is one, because they should operate as one human being at this point. They have to. And I think if they look as good as they did, even remotely did in the Tennessee game, I don't think Derek Harmon's stealing any balls from anybody. And, I think we'll be fine. And then I think Will Howard, I think that's the whole thing. I think Will Howard's going to show up regardless. I don't think he's a gamer. He had one bad game, and I think that's not going to happen again. And I think JJ's going to show up regardless. So if I had to pick somebody that has to show up, that needs to show up again, Travion Henderson. I think if the O-line and Travion Henderson show out like that, I got faith that the other people are going to show up. I just need those two people because Travion is right now could be gone. And if the O-line is blocking like they were last time, it's going to happen. He's 1 second from going. So I think if those two things happen, I already imagine we're throwing the ball and we're working the same type of game plan as last time. So I think that's my thoughts on it. You know what I'm saying? I have faith that the other people are going to show up, but I need those two things to show up.
Well, last game, against Tennessee, they found creative ways to get the ball to Trey. A lot of, wheel routes, screens, dump passes out of the backfield. The guy is playing his best football that he's played. He's healthy. He looks explosive every time he touches the ball. There's a chance of him taking it to the house. He runs hard. When he blocks, he's laying people on their butt, putting people on their backside. Our backs are running really hard now, and I think it's been a godsend to have Quinshawn come here. That way, there wasn't so much wear and tear on Trey. He didn't have to shoulder the whole load the whole year. So those guys are fresh, they're healthy, and just in time for our stretch run, man. So that's what,
absolutely. Absolutely. So let's go crazy here. Let's go one wild, just off the wall, crazy prediction on offense, and then we'll go one on defense. Chat, I want to hear all yours too. Let's get wild.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna steal B Moses and say Iggy doesn't get a PI. That's too easy.
Now, listen, I just hope that happens again. That was wildly rewarding.
I think JJ will have 3 touchdowns this game and go for $150.
Rushing touchdown. Okay, Devin's grounded. Oh man, I shouldn't have gone. I shouldn't have said wild. Good Lord.
I think we score a touchdown on a fake field goal.
I'm sorry. Oh God,
we're off the rails now, boys.
First ballot Hall of Fame quote right there. We use that one forever. Good Lord. Oh, let's see. We have gone off the rails here, kids.
We will have a totally different defensive game plan this time around. Look for a lot of help over the top, and I do not expect them to have Denzel play off like they had him playing the first game, man.
Well, at least Mello is still on the rails over here making,
I said 3 touchdown for Optimus. He says 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's picked like 2 or more in every game thus far. So
Hey man, this is the coming out party for him, man. Everybody's going to know about. I mean, if they didn't know about him now, they're going to know about him by the time the playoffs are over, man.
yeah, no, I agree. So so what's yours, Sean? Like without going super left of center, like because I mean Dan Lanning's already pregnant in somebody's world. So
How do you follow that up, man?
no, listen, that's dude. I don't even want to make a prediction now. That seems wildly better than anything I can come up with right now.
I think we will rush for 200 yards as a team. I think we'll beat them in the rushing battle. I think we will do like Devin always yells, and we're gonna use the passing game to set up the running game. And by the time it's the fourth quarter, we're gonna be running the ball down their throats to close the game out.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna circle back to this one because Dev's not here to tell me not to. I said this first too, by the way. Devin, I'm pretty sure stole it from me. But I said before the Michigan game that Emeka Egbuka would have a touchdown. During the 6 hour podcast, I said that I would have a passing touchdown. And then Devin stole it last show. So good on him. But I'm going to circle back to it and say that again. So I say Emeka Egbuka has a passing touchdown to Brandon Ennis nonetheless. We'll go super crazy.
On defense, I think Sonny Styles will have 3 sacks.
Okay.
I think this is going to be his best game. He's already each week he's been improving. Look at that hit he put on that receiver when they tried to throw that little screen to that receiver. He about killed that guy. I'm surprised he didn't get nailed for a freaking unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, no, we can run that, Devin. We can run back to tape. We actually have it all on tape. So I'm just saying, like, I did make it. I even made the prediction when Eric and Chris Wildman were on during the 6 hour podcast. And Eric said, well, listen, if that happens, like, we're just out there having fun. So I'm just saying, you can quote me on it, but like, you know.
Ooh, Tyler's got one. He says JJ throws a touchdown pass.
Oh, JJ throws a touchdown pass. I'm listening.
He's caught one and run one. He's run a couple. I think he's run 1 or 2 in this year. He's Devin said he deleted that one, Tony.
Oh, did you delete that one? The 6 hour podcast is it's gone. He's cut it out. He's gonna go clip it out right now. So like, see, look, it's not even in there, man. It's not on StreamYard anymore or anything. Listen, I would be scared if he knew how to do that, but I know he doesn't. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No rewinds allowed.
He would have to call me to do it. And he was like, listen, I'm trying to get this out of the way for you. So can you tell me how to do that? No, I'm joking.
Mecca says Gabriel doesn't finish the game.
Oh, I like that one. I would like to, I mean, I guess, I don't know if this is defense per se. Did I pick defense already?
No, you didn't yet.
Steely beat me to it. I was going to say, I don't know if it's defense, but like Caleb Downs, a returning touchdown. So like, yeah, I don't care. I'm copying Steely because I have the microphone and I can do what I want. So anyway, yeah, I would say that, you know, I don't know if anybody's got any more wild predictions, but they were pretty wild. You guys really took it and ran with it. Dan Lanning needs birth control now, but it's fine. Like,
Gold Jacket Googs in the house.
Oh, God. Hall of Fame Googs.
Thanks.
So
Always good to see Googs in the house.
Yep. So we've gone like 54 minutes here. Scoop going at 7
o'clock. Okay. Remember, guys, at 8 o'clock after Scoop's over, go over and check out Ohio Podcast. It's our call-in show that support Eric and Chris and Corey and JR. Great dudes, part of our family. So Talik Williams with a touchdown.
Nice. That's a good one. Drew's on fire tonight, bud.
Drew's on a mission, man.
Yeah, for sure. On fire. So Shaun, since we're about done here and Drew is stealing the show, I think you know, we'll just try to wrap it up here and you know, give your final words on Oregon and the playoffs and just anything and everything.
I think, hey man, they should Ohio State showed the world, everybody, they sent them a message during that Tennessee game, man. If they play like that, there's no one that can beat them, man. They got confidence. They got that anger. They're playing with an edge. So I'm confident they're going to go and to Pasadena to the Rose Bowl and give Oregon a beatdown.
I agree. I just have to say, yeah. I mean, we were making the peace is never an option, and this is that game right here. You know what I'm saying? There was never going to be a calm, nice meeting of us. Like, they wanted to be the team out west. Like, we got something for you. Like, we got something for you. We're coming back. We're coming through. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like I showed you the one shirt, even the Ducks in Ohio are coming for you, bud. You got no friends out here. So, yeah, I think as long as we show up, and we haven't had, I don't think we've had 2 bad games in a row this year, or at least where we've played badly. They've seemed to try to fix everything, you know, overall over here. And, you know, with that, like, I want to see the revenge tour in the college football playoff. But like I said, I posted it before. You know, we sold the first pieces was never an option shirt today. You go to BuckeyeBoys.com. All the designs are there. There's an order form right there on the merchandise tab. Get all the shirts you want. I showed you the options. Option 1, 2, and 3. Just put it in there under where it says shirt and style, whatever. And, you know, we'll get it right over and we'll try to get it to you as soon as possible. You know, yeah, Mello, Dev.
Everybody, thank you so much for coming in, checking us out, and supporting us. We love our brothers and sisters in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thankful for a wonderful year with the Mafia family. We're growing like wildfire. Keep it up. And let's OH.
I-O.
All right. All right.